Welcome, everybody, to the Southwick Conservation Commission meeting Monday, January 6th, 7 p.m. We're in a hybrid at the Southwick Town Hall. With us tonight, we'll start with Jerry on your side. Jerry Patria.
Andy Reardon, Melissa Zoll,
Chris Pratt.
Norm Cheever, Evan Solar, Dennis Clark.
And welcome. We'll start with public comment tonight. Does anyone have public comments? Anybody online, public comments? Okay, it's easy. All right. So for our first hearing tonight, we have an RDA, it's 170 Mayflower Lane, West Suffield. The Southwick Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing of the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, General Law C 131, Section 40 of the Southwick Conservation Commission's Regulations and Bylaw, Chapter 182, and Chapter 450 for request for determination. Project location is 170 Mayflower Lane, West Suffield, Connecticut. The proposed project is for the removal of vegetation within the Congamon Lake. Meeting will be held right now. Welcome, everybody. All right. Are you the opponents?
Oh, hi,
Okay.
how are you?
Hi. So,
building a house there, the lake pads are like completely overgrown, it's not safe for like a swimming area or anything. So we're just trying to like clean up the area that's in front of our waterfront.
Can you just state your name and address for our secretary?
Holly Boy.
Richard Roy.
17. Thank you.
all right. So as far as removing lily pads, I'm not really sure that that's,
We weren't removing, we were just cutting and raking.
Yeah.
So
Cutting.
I'm using the weed. Norm came out when I was out there. I didn't know I needed
Yeah.
a permit for it or anything.
I'm not even sure we can give you a permit for it. Yeah.
Well, it was, when he came out,
You were involved.
it was protected, but the way I was doing it, you said he went all the state. And the way I was doing it was correct with the razor, cutting them and then a floating rake off the top of the lily pad.
By hand, no.
All by hand.
No dredge.
Yeah,
No,
that's right.
no mechanical equipment.
Not removing the roots.
No.
No, so it's, I got a picture of the.
Like a chop rake or something?
Yeah, well, it's a razor, it's like a wide, you throw it out, you hold the rope, and then you just drag it back, it cuts them, and then there's a rake that you throw out, you hold the rope as well, and it has float on top, so it just comes back and it floats on the top and it breaks the lily pads
I
in.
mean, my son and his friends did it.
Yeah.
It was,
Mhm.
like that, it wasn't allowed, but yeah, it's just to clean up the area, so once it's involved, it'll be safe.
We have it written in there somewhere, I'm sure that it's. It was by hand and.
I'm not even, like, I read in the regulations where removal of weeds isn't prohibited for certain things. Recreation being one of them. Did everybody get that thing I sent out?
Yeah.
What was your take?
Really focused on. Basically says it's really not a lot.
Right.
The Riparian right. Well, the total rights, that is the rights of the homeowners that live on a body of water. Riparian rights if you live on a river or a stream. The total if you live on a pond or a lake. Okay. And those are rights that the owner has, and it says they have the right to access the lake for swimming, boating, fishing, an erection of docks, piers, and boat lifts. Okay. And so we got two conflicting.
Well, I think one has to do with weeds and one has the right to access the waterway, which are, I believe, two different separate things.
Well. Another report that I saw. Says, to talk about the example. Let's see if I can find it here. Say if you can. He specifically talks about lily pads.
Yeah.
This is a lawyer from a different state, but
Well, Massachusetts is a different state.
well,
It's different. Every state's different.
every state's different.
Yeah.
But this guy says if you're living in, and the example of full lily pads. And you can argue the right for egress and ingress gives the authority to clear a waterway up to a certain width. They vary between 12 and 30 feet wide, in open water. Whether it's 10 yards or 200 yards long, you have the right to ingress and egress, exercise your right of quiet enjoyment of the lake. Couple that with what Mark Stinson said, and when he reviewed the request, he came back and says, I believe this can be handled via an RDA. So our lead.
Are we did he understand that there are lily pads, or did he think they were invasive weeds? There are two different processes for two different
Does it
things.
mention it in the RDA, it's specific? If it's. It's,
Because you can take weeds out if they're invasive weeds, or if they're causing harm to the lake. It happens, that's just part of nature. I don't see anything.
That's why. just
Be concerned
because
about
that-
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
so it just says lily
I grew up
pads.
on the lake, well, hidden on Mountain Road all my life. I mean, I remember the Green Monster out there doing the same thing every weekend would be out there.
That was for the invasive weeds, though. That was for the milfoil, and that was absolutely horrible. That made it worse.
Milfoil. The requested termination, I believe, was done correctly, because it's asking whether it's jurisdictional. We already know what it is.
Right.
Might want to change the request.
React.
By law.
So whether the activities depicted is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act, whether, so that's C. And then there should be the Southwick bylaw, you're saying?
I know, you know, Chris is concerned, we don't want to set a precedent here,
Well-
you know, but if we did set some strict guidelines to go along with it.
I just want to read you the part that was concerning to me. It says projects proposing aquatic plant management to improve the natural ability of a resource area. Recreation, aesthetics, odor reduction, or other similar interests do not qualify under 310 CMR because those interests are not protected by the wetlands protection regulations. These projects would need to meet other applicable relevant general performance standards.
Does it say navigational in there?
No,
Just trying to think of some
Some
way of
people
doing
put barriers down on the
Yeah.
bed of the lake to prevent things from going, and that's permissible. So, there's
yeah, I'm just, that's the part I read that was concerning to me. That's it. I just want to make sure that it's brought up, that's all. I mean, I certainly don't have a thing with people getting to their water. That's not my
it. I can
thing.
relate to the problem.
Yeah, I live on the lake. Jerry lives on the lake.
I live
Jerry
on the
lives on,
lake.
Worm lives on the lake.
weekends.
So, yeah, right, right.
Control.
Yeah. As we have allowed people to go in to clean in front of their house, and it became an enormous nightmare.
Yeah, we can-
That's why we're here. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
You know, we went through our land.
Since then, like, we just want to do it the right way, we don't have any problems.
Appreciate you doing that.
Right.
Yeah, they will go back too once you chop.
No, they're gonna grow
Well, I'm
back.
sure, but the more use, if you're using
Yeah.
that area, the
Yeah.
area you use most, it's gonna.
Right,
There's, you know, little patches here and there. We've noticed that
Yeah.
they disappeared because of boat travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we
It happens.
noticed, almost like an island, just like floated by too, like,
Well, there was that
Yeah.
dock that was in the lake, where
Yeah.
all the community thought they could use for years, and Crestview, when I bought the property, I told them, they're getting rid of the people on it, because they never took the dock out or anything
well,
for
they were
years.
gonna use it
And then it was, I mean, I took out 5 dumpsters of garbage over there.
So if anything, we're.
So, I mean, I'm just trying to make it nicer.
We have nothing against you or
Yeah.
what you're trying to do. I just want to make sure we're following the
Yeah,
regulations.
yeah,
That's
no,
all.
that's why we're here.
I'm still thinking or maybe nice is not an acceptable reason. for cutting
Yeah.
plants in the water.
Right.
That's right.
No, no, I was saying there was a path where they would come into their dock, they had 5 feet attached to it. And
Right.
there was a path there, and now it's already growing over, you know, into that.
Yeah, I mean, nature takes over.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
So how big an area?
Well, there's,
Square
I
footage.
mean, I don't have a measurement, I mean, I would say, as far as like throw out, it's like 20 feet that are, you know, you're throwing it out, and then the width of the property line across the front, you know what I mean? I think it's maybe 100 feet or 80 feet maybe.
The entire property line you want to clear?
No, it's not all the way across. I mean, I have all wetlands on my one side.
200 square feet, is that what the?
It's like right in the cove area and like on the little peninsula.
Do you have an idea, Norm, how?
Well, I think that's something that,
You know, it, yeah.
I do, across the lake from it.
Yeah. Oh,
If you think about it, we probably have, I think those who know the lake, think about it, we probably have a handful of properties that have no homes on it that have total vegetation.
They do.
Okay, so we're not setting the precedent for the entire lake, we're setting the precedent for.
Well, have you ever been to a lake meeting for the
CRC?
CRC? People always are coming in asking to remove their weeds, and how do we do it? Well, every meeting, that's one of the biggest hot topics. It's not that they have untouched, it's that they have any at all.
Yeah,
So, I mean-
they cleaned out.
Yeah.
You can't do that. But you can, I don't know, maybe there's a way to clean out.
I think if every property owner has some rights to the lake.
Yeah.
You know, for swimming, for boating, we can set that precedent. And say, you know, we'll give you X amount of feet in both directions. Leave a little bit. And then we got a precedent we can use with everybody. And then we could always say that if you come in and you've got 100 feet of waterfront and you've got lily pads on 20 feet, you don't apply, you don't fit the mold.
Yeah,
The
So
mold
if
is,
it's maybe a percentage of your flake frontage, so say if you had 100,
yeah,
we decide, all right, you need X amount, a percentage of.
20%.
Whatever the percentage number figure we
Yeah.
fit is, you know.
I mean, if it's for navigational purposes, that's one thing, I think, maybe.
you can make an exception perhaps.
That's the angle.
You know, because this stuff will wrap itself around it.
Yeah, it gets in here,
So,
taken here.
You know, for navigational purposes, you can maybe, you know, clear a certain area so you can get in and out without any complication.
People are swimming too. You don't want to swim with lily pads.
Yeah, right.
Safety.
It's a safety.
But it seems to be hard to find a straight answer, you know, a certain amount, not to, you know, like people want to cut a few trees.
And I think safety is one of those other provisions in the act that is set aside.
Clear the whole shoreline.
Right. But that is a big area that's looking to clear. That is a very sensitive area. That's Turtle Cove, right? That's what we're looking at.
The general area, yeah.
That's like a breeding habitat for turtles and fish and everything else, and they do use those lily pads for that purpose.
No, I'm not talking,
Not that whole
I'm
other
not talking the
section,
whole
I'm
area.
just talking
Yeah.
about, right,
in that cove area, at that little, I mean, like I said,
you know, we know where the wetlands are. Not touching out.
I mean, in that whole area on the right side that goes up against, I think,
I think
Butler
there is a
Rock.
map in Zardia.
If we got more detail, would that make you feel more comfortable?
I think so. I would, yeah.
You actually draw. The plan.
Right.
And that also gives us the ability to go, come over and say, hey, 40 feet to the right of where you said you were gonna go. You know, that's where the turtles want to.
Yeah.
And that also allows us to do that to the next guy who wants to be 40 feet to the right. So you say, no, you gotta be over here with the turtles.
Yeah.
Right.
You know how much waterfront you have for the dwellings?
I don't, because it goes all the way into where the water comes, where the, you know, the wetlands come in, to, you know, we don't that area that goes.
Are there two separate lots?
Over there in Turtle Cove? Yes.
There's still.
They've gotten rid of most of it.
They touch it up, it's one of the areas they touch up.
Yeah. I know last year there was some.
So turtles, hanging out. So Sabrina, you think you could help them refine the request for termination?
I'm gonna need some more like details and information. You gotta like tell me. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta tell me what to write down. I can help refine the actual application.
Square footage, or, you know, at least the ball.
Make sure we give them
Yeah, I'll
egress.
zoom in on a map and I'll draw it up tomorrow. I'm working on it tomorrow.
And just make sure that it's all being done by hand, because machinery, that's a whole new ballgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the method he described, I think is acceptable.
Yeah.
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 Chop with disposal, and it's being harvested and just dumped back in the lake over there, it needs to be taken on land.
Yes.
Oh, no, we did it, we pulled it out and then
Yeah.
pulled out my gate and then I hauled it out.
Break it up, throw it away.
You definitely want to throw it away because it smells disgusting.
Yeah.
And I think you need to keep the machine.
I think that cove is always gonna smell like a little bit like that anyway.
Back and forth.
I know, we were rolled it, I had mats down, we were rolled it to the silt fence.
Yeah.
And then we shoveled it over the silt fence into the bobcat.
Right.
So, I mean, I have my silt fence, I have wattle, I have 3 layers of wattles across going to the lake. I mean, Norm saw how I had it all set up, I mean, when I first went through it, they wouldn't have let me put silt fence up right away because I was going for approvals. But they said I could cut trees down, that was Suffield. And then, you know, Norm came, he was at my meeting there with them and as soon as he asked, they reached out to me, I had it in the next day, so, I mean.
Yeah.
It's, we're fighting two different states, 2 different towns here. So I'm like, I'm dealing with one end and I'm getting told one thing from them, and I get told one thing from another, so that's why I'm trying to make everybody happy on both
Work
ends.
together.
We appreciate it.
The details.
And all our neighbors. who
Yeah.
are probably-
Right, that's all in there. That helps us with the next guy too.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can show the next guy like this is how you gotta do it.
Mhm.
Not wrong.
It might be time to redefine. You know, this, but it's probably not a bad idea.
But like you said, for safety to get boat access, you know.
Yeah, the swimming thing, you might not want to swim there anyway, because that's not gonna really change the bottom of that. It's kind of mucky there. Oh, yeah, I mean,
I mean, when I'm going to docks, you know.
Oh, yeah. yeah. But I mean, how far would you sink in if you stood up in that water?
Get about a foot and a half.
So there's a lot, that gets a little bit of backflow and a lot of weeds blow in there
Yeah.
and sink and that's kind of a spot where that happens. A lot of those coasts that happens to. Need some refinement, some more details.
Finding a
Redefinition
They're
possible.
not planning on doing it, right?
No, they can't do it today.
Off the ice, they don't get it there.
I know all my lily pads are gone.
Yeah, mine are.
Yeah, they're all gone right now.
You
So,
mentioned that they can put mats down that inhibits the growth. Is that,
With a permit.
I heard that in here sometime.
Well,
Dennis had mentioned that you can put a barrier.
I think they can do that, like if they have a management plan through like a public beach or something like that. Association beach, maybe.
So we can't do that on a private.
I don't know about that, because that's,
Yeah, I know it's pretty restricted with
Yeah.
the Wetlands Act. Like you
I
can't
mean, that
just-
could be a question we could ask Mark.
you can't just dump
Well,
sand.
that could be a recreational area, because the whole community has access to walk down there to go to the lake.
Yeah.
Just, you know, they do have access to go down to the lake.
Barriers and see how those are applicable. If you want us to.
Used to be an amusement park.
All right,
Back in the old days.
Really?
I know across the lake used to be a nice,
Yeah,
House,
yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, for Sabrina and I.
Yeah, they live at the ice house.
We live in the- Yeah, they have stuff in your corner. Ages.
Yeah.
Well, look at the history.
History.
So should it be continued then?
This will be continued, so we'll ask for continuance. How long do you think, would you like to have? We can do it next meeting if you want, or we can continue it till whenever you think you're more comfortable with the plan.
Next meeting, fine.
Okay,
I'll have it all drawn up on the.
I wish. February 3rd. February 3rd is the next one.
all right.
Thanks for.
So I take a motion on the continuance of this project for February 3rd. All in favor?
All right.
Chris, aye. Okay. February 3rd.
Do you
Thank
have
you
the
very much.
notice?
Do they have to sign the continuance?
Yeah.
Hold on just a moment.
I think it's right.
You just have to sign a paper to say you want to continue. So that was the one that you didn't get the link to last time I sent it.
Yeah.
Remember, I think I sent it
Yeah.
last summer or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But that was the document that that link went to. I think it has a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
There was another one I read somewhere else that said, even like for monetary purposes, you can't take weeds out of the lake. I know I read it somewhere else besides that document. No, for like if you want to put like a marina in, you can't move that. You can't remove the weeds so that you can earn money on the lake.
Right. You remember the one on North Pond where the gentleman wanted to put a dock over a lily pad area? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Well, there was
Okay.
that.
Exciting.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Okay. Permit extension, X section 280. We did this last time, right?
You wanna
No, we
just skip the Diane once a year?
We could do that. Can save you some time tonight. Oh, no.
Oh.
We'll stay back there. God, I had something for 2 months. I'm just getting over it, so. Just. Yeah, well, mine was COVID in the middle, then I went back to the original.
Good sandwich.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so we're gonna hear Diane. She has some updates on the North Pond and other public town area things, or did you want to do all or just the North Pond one?
I'm just doing the North Pond.
Yeah, you can do like the letter thing that you sent. That's,
Just
yeah,
talking about
update,
what
yep.
We've got, give them circulated to all of you.
Yeah.
So after the public hearing, street parking. Public hearing, is a broad, proposal put out there to put it up on the side streets and stuff, and then carry that. The, reaction to the side streets was loud. And clear, it wasn't the intention, but we had to put it out there and tear it down. And there will be no parking signs on both sides of South Lawn.
Okay,
We will go from Red Pond Road up to the wildlife management area. The time on it will be from May 1st to September 15th. So that there's no hunting season
Mhm.
issues there. If it becomes a problem where people start parking in side streets, whether they like it or not, then those orange. The parking area is approved, you have a sketch there, is gonna be 4 spaces, one here we have 3 regular spaces, one way in and out. So just your refigured moving forward, goes up this space, so cars can't. Move inside.
Mhm.
And that's where the concern about people then. Overflow actually, they have to
right.
preemptively.
Will the kiosk move at all, or is that gonna stay where
That
it
can
is?
stay where it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see that.
One of the other proposals that you'll get in the second draft of recommendations is gonna be on enhanced signage.
Right, that's a good idea.
And we're gonna add dusk to dawn
For
Not
parking.
dusk. The parking lot is open from those hours. Again, more rules. Decided we're going to put on there that we are subject to surveillance on the property. Whether that goes into effect or not, we're just gonna warn people.
Right.
And then, the Val Road access points, I did find fence that we're going to have installed in that corner, so the vehicles can't get in anymore. It's gonna be placed in front of that party's fence itself. That's gonna be a locked gate,
Okay,
with fencing on the side of it, so you still can't get around. And that should help with a lot of baby in there. I did mention that the entire down road back section of that has nothing to tell anybody that they're on that property. And that's something that can take something inside which there.
okay, good idea.
But that's just one of the things. But
Mhm.
in there while we're talking about that. What else? And the trail sign is within the area. Of the yard. Float to the water. We did vote to put those in the shallow water just to keep boats in the water, basically.
hmm
Still not impeding any access to the area. People can walk on all they want. It's just to keep them out.
The only question I have is from people fishing from the shore, that might make it difficult. That's my only
with the
concern, the floats.
float. And we'll have to take that.
Yeah.
Out far out.
Yeah,
And I was gonna work with like management on. it.
yeah. I don't know if there's a drop off or, I don't really know.
No, pretty shallow.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And then enforcement, there is a proposed comprehensive bylaw for all of town recreational properties that have now the public hearing, we just talked about it today. Now the public hearing on that, it was pretty comprehensive, I did send it out to all of the relative boards and commissions for their input on it to make sure we address everything. And again, we need to say that it's not legal in order to enforce that it's not legal. So that's what that bylaw would do, whether people read it or not, and it's stated. Jason has proposed perhaps a supplement to it for nuisance. Another bylaw for nuisance situations that we probably likely incorporate into this, which would be townwide, not just on this property,
Mhm.
but we can vary it. We did want to know what your plans were about the beach area, the not beach area, that shoreline that everybody likes to gather. Which has its own problems, and again, that guy, basically, hopefully get.
Yeah, well, once I think the Babs Road is at the gate that he comes in on, I think once that's clean, taken care of, I think that'll end that. Yeah. I doubt he would do that, though. I think he's
But
gonna ride himself.
part of task force proposal was to close that area temporarily too, and I don't think that's in the first plan, so I just want to know
Yeah.
what you think
Yeah.
we're gonna do about restoring that.
Well, I mean, probably just let it regrow naturally. I mean, I don't think we're gonna plant anything because there wasn't really any plants taken out. He did cut some roots to some things, but as far as bushes and things like that, there was nothing removed except for leaves and things like that that wash up on the shoreline. So I think if that just naturally recurs, But originally,
But not close off any part of it.
I don't see why we would close that off. I mean, everybody has access to the lake. And that would be access to the lake there, wouldn't it? Along that shoreline.
No, they have that proper. They don't have access to that's the argument. They have access to the property.
But they have to have access to the lake as well. That's a state law. That's one of the longest running laws there are, is access to the water in the state.
Well, that's what the select board wants to
Yeah.
know is how are you gonna preserve that property to conservation restriction,
Yeah,
given that situation.
yeah, I don't really see any damage happening there besides what he was doing with his rake. And, I didn't see any erosion there. I didn't see anything else that happened on that parcel, on that part of it anyway. The erosion that came into that area was from up on the hill from the big, the road that went up there. Washouts on that road, but it wasn't from anybody on that part.
Right, and then, again, we'll go through that, what you guys are gonna do, close off the trails and stuff, you know, we think that's gonna be a significant step
Mhm.
in getting back to order. And then I'll follow this up again. with the recommendation that weren't included, we didn't have a vote, in it, but just recommendation. I'll follow up with that.
One of the things I heard a lot was that because there was no enforcement of existing rules, for example, people were told to put a fire out to shut our flat, the fire that we did. They were not issued a citation. Because no citation were ever issued, we were limited to what we could do. So some of it's gonna come back, that rules get enforced, great to write them.
We have to.
Right, and I think that's why you're doing this in the first place, right? To get that bylaw passed so that you can enforce the rules. Right.
All we can do is keep chewing them off
Right.
unless there
Right.
is a bylaw that says prohibited. And these are the exceptions. we
Yeah.
make.
Right now, they're just rules and
Yeah.
guidelines.
I mean, the fires, the alcohol, those aren't rules, those are laws.
Well,
The noise.
On public property, alcohol, not allowed.
And I'm sure.
Public drinking, not allowed. Yeah.
So if some of the things start to get written and the parking supposed access is limited, I think you're gonna see the beach go back all by itself.
Right.
Because it'll just be that.
That's the idea. So
So
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's nobody's gonna be there.
it's to discourage the.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And that, I mean, that happened with ATVs in this town.
Yeah.
People kept running it, and it
Yeah.
stopped getting road.
Right.
You just had to throw a few ATVs in the van. So I think
With the authority.
right.
Yeah.
Once you start writing it to people, it'll change. Unfortunately.
Right.
Good plan,
Okay,
work together on it.
I am gonna get some volunteers. I'm hopefully getting a volunteer to remove the fencing in the parking lot. So I'll be looking for volunteers from the select board and Aaron to help with that if I can get.
all right,
You're all excited about that.
put the word out,
Oh, yeah.
jumping on it. Okay, anybody have any other questions for Diane or? All right. You're free to leave. Thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate your coming in, especially being sick and all. Sad to hear. I know, but still, you didn't have to come down here. Yeah, I appreciate that so much. Okay, sure, sure.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go back to our new business permit extension act, section 280. It was done in November 20th, this past year. Recent legislation allows for a 2-year extension on permits, including wetlands permits. We're waiting for more clarification from the state on that.
Yeah, so you guys have a printout, it's called a third permit extension act is enacted. So it looks like essentially all of the wetland permits have been extended for an additional 2 years.
This is COVID.
Not because of COVID, I
No.
think it's for economic boost.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
That was what they extended mine for my chapter 91. They blamed it on COVID,
okay,
but whatever.
go COVID.
Mhm.
Let me see if okay, so specifically section 280 of chapter 238 of the Acts of 2024 provides that an approval in effect or existence during the tolling period of January 1st, 2023 to January 1st, 2025 inclusive shall be extended for a period of 2 years from its expiration date.
Mhm.
So any permits that were open during that time, they've now been extended for an additional 2 years.
Okay. All inclusive, eh?
So permits that we made, and maybe we did an order of conditions back in December, they have now 5 years. So it's all of them. And that's the information that I've been told, but we're still waiting for more guidance from the state.
They really never gave you any guidance.
They didn't know. It was sort of a surprise.
They're gonna drag it.
Yeah,
Lawyer For the MACC.
yeah, there is that
Oh, we're
MACC.
supposed to know.
We don't, it's
They don't
just,
tell you.
Yeah.
oh,
The official notification.
yep. Yeah, so we are waiting. Hopefully we'll get something like more official from the state and how to regulate this and whatnot, but I think it's just an additional 2 years. So we did an extension for 1 year for 125 sheep pasture. Now it's 3 years. No, they didn't even need to do it.
Yeah,
So,
as it turns out.
yeah. You have a question?
Yes, I. And because it impacts me. So
Okay.
Okay. Does this mean that anything that was in that time period, whether it was before January 1st, 2022, expired?
I think if it was valid January 1st, if it was active January 1st, 2023. If it was active,
Okay, so just my own information,
Yeah.
my NOI, which expired, I believe, in April of 23, was extended for 2 years.
Yep,
Sounds about right.
because between January 1st of that year and now, 2-year extension. April is in the middle. Mm-hmm.
so that's that.
We have 42 Depot Streets, response for Permit Extension Act 280.
I think you're the only one that has that in your
Right
folder.
here.
I guess just read it in.
Dear Mr. Scott, Mr. Goddard, Ms. Pooler, we hope this letter finds you well. Our Levesque Associates Incorporated is ready to tell the town of Southwick local officials in light of the recent legislative action signed by Governor Maura Healey on November 20th, 2024, known as the Act of 2024. As you may be aware, this new law extends the validity of certain land use permits in Massachusetts. Under the new act, the land use permits were valid between January 1st, 2023 and January 1st, 2025 are automatically extended for an additional 2 years. This corresponds in particular relevance to the current land use permits for the project located at 42 Depot Street in Southwick, Mass. Based on this new legislation, it is our understanding that the permits for 42 Depot Street project, which would have been set to expire in the near future, are now automatically extended for a period of 2 years. Therefore, it is our understanding that the permits for this project are now valid until December 29th, 2026. That's it.
So that's for the stormwater permit via the planning.
Okay.
And so his order of conditions through the Conservation Commission would be through December 20th, 2029.
Okay. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We look forward to your response. Appreciate your assistance in ensuring that the permits for 42 Depot Street remain in effect as intended under this new legislation. Our Levesque Associates.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We just found out about it, so
Anybody want the act?
No.
I imagine it would apply to a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
All righty. Okay, we also have the same letter, pretty much, for the
772 and 774.
And that goes to February 3rd, 2025. Is that true or no?
No, this is something separate.
That's something different.
That's different.
July 16th, 2029.
Yep.
So that goes till then.
This is the annual town report. This is, I think this is mail.
All right.
Just right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Budget review, current town accounts, the supplies count is now in the negative, request for a budget of $1,200, but received only 800 for this year. So
Yeah.
we're only got 2/3 of our budget.
Yep.
that was
So-
requested.
You guys have a budget packet. We need to have a budget ready by. Can't remember, it must be end of January, so you guys are not gonna meet until February 3rd. So I quickly tried to whip up some stuff for our budget. I did give you the lowdown of what we have right now. It's the first page. The second page in this packet is an overall anticipated expenses for the Conservation Commission. That includes memberships, that includes travel and conference, consultant supplies. I did add local permitting program office supplies, but I do believe that we can take that out of the local permitting revolving account, but I did want to put that in there anyways because it is a budget. And then land maintenance. And so for office supplies, that's up to $2,503.86. I itemized every single bit of that because I just kind of went on Quill and just tried to think of what we're gonna need for the entire year. One thing that was different is that we now need to buy our own copy paper. So each department needs to buy our own copy paper. So I did write that down. We're covering, so planning and us, we have an agreement. They'll pay for ink, we'll pay for paper.
But we have to buy the paper from the vendor, we can't get it cheap on our own.
I buy it for Quill. I get it from Quill.
They're not cheap. Well, pay extra money go for flow.
Do you? I don't know. We have WB Mason and we have Quill, and Quill's been cheaper
Yeah,
when I compare.
shop around, the best deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
that's crazy.
yeah. So, and this price does not include, the printed, so Jean had our envelopes printed with the Conservation Commission on the side. And I asked for a quote like on Friday, so I don't know how much that's going to be. So that's that one, and there was a breakdown of the local permitting program, which is a little more modest. So I'm having Julie and hopefully our intern, sorry, we have an intern starting the end of this month. So hopefully she can help me out with the files. So I'm trying to integrate all of the LPP program applications, all of the paperwork in with our regular filing system by address. So it's easier for us to file. Right now, they're organized by year. So if we want a specific application, one address, it takes us like 15 minutes just to find it. So I want all the folders, the LPP folders to be blue folders, so it's easy. And then with the address. So
Steve offered to come back and help with that.
Did she? Hire her.
Consulting fee.
stickers have already been ordered. Dick ordered them. He said they should be in. We need to purchase address labels to slap on all the envelopes. We need mailing envelopes. There's a lot of mail that happens with the LPP program. So we've got, because Connecticut, now we need to receive money from Connecticut. That also makes it a little extra burden, but one mailing is going to be around, I think, 423 envelopes. So I don't know how Jean did it, but she was like superwoman. That's a lot.
Where's the postage? Somebody else.
I think it's in the general postage. I think she just puts it in the
Okay.
mailbox.
Okay.
Any certified, yeah, and even certified mail, I think that comes from the general.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, I mean, this is my effort to try to get that budget, as much of the budget identified as possible. I haven't gone through salaries or anything like that.
Your salaries are gonna be put in more hours.
Would be lovely. Yeah, I'm drowning.
Can't wait for that discussion. Last year you said see select board. Select board said see you.
Yeah. Diane has something to say.
Diane?
For one of the things mentioned with the cameras, or you already have cameras, not installed yet because we're working out. How they want
You buy cameras?
I didn't buy
to-
cameras.
Service.
We haven't bought.
No, we were looking into using a service. That was.
We were
So-
looking into the cameras,
Oh,
but
fuzzy with service and the monthly fees. and then
Right.
Yeah.
forthcoming.
I know we already bought the camera.
We voted to like use the funds, but we never actually like.
We never
allocate the
purchased
money.
it.
We allocated, but we didn't.
yeah, we have
The
the
church.
funds.
Voted to focus on lots of funding.
Yeah.
Put those fees into your next budget. That is really important.
Okay.
I'm so bad with his last name, the fire chiefs.
Savannah, which was going to.
He was gonna help, he was gonna identify the cameras to purchase. Yeah,
All right. That's
yeah,
good.
but I haven't, I don't know if he's done that.
We were starting to look into it. There's a lot of different types out there.
If you want to designate somebody here to take that on, I can connect. Get him scheduled to meet with whoever you do.
If the chief, if the chief wants to give us some input, that'd be great.
Okay.
So Jerry and Andy, you
Yeah,
wanna,
we
Yeah,
were, we were
you're
looking.
back on the task.
There you go.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I know nothing
Yeah, I
about
mean, you
cameras.
guys did the research, you know,
Yeah.
the info.
And then location wise, are we talking, well? I
I
know
think at entry points.
there was some talk about the gorge too, or some other places.
The gorge would be nice.
Move them around. If
Those
we're
are-
gonna get cameras and get like some places.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can always move them
but
around.
I know the boat ramp has cameras. I don't know why we wouldn't use the same kind of technology that the boat ramp has.
They aren't, yeah, I think
Oh, they are?
into
Ours are
the,
out in the woods.
the
That'll be the
telephone.
difference. Okay,
So
Are
we're
they
gonna
gonna be
have
cars? Are they gonna be-
big
but I
extension.
don't know, like, they must use like a service though, because it's, they have the streaming.
There's this,
Police station.
there's a, yeah.
Well, I talked to Bobby Landis. Back when we started doing this, he said they were using it.
Really?
And everything comes
There's no
out.
IP that
Right,
is associated with it.
that's the
It
rule, so.
runs through the power line. In that case, it would have to be a SIM card, like
Yeah.
a cell phone.
That's exactly what he said he can help you with.
Yeah.
He said
Okay.
pretty good people.
Super,
Well, if we're gonna move them around, they might as well have SIM cards.
right. And there probably will be, once we find where we actually want them located, they might change, you know. Might find a different spot.
The SIM card doesn't, you need the combination, you need to be able to react now.
Right.
Like you're online, and you
Yeah.
see the fire. getting
Live
lit.
streaming.
That's when you wanna show up, you don't wanna pull the SIM card and.
Well, that's what I'm hoping the chief will have.
Well, some of those are both.
I'm hoping the chief will have some insight on the types that would do that for us.
Cause if
Cause
somebody has to monitor the SIM cards, somebody has to physically take them out, put them
Right.
into the thing, look it over.
That's good to report it, to keep it for.
Yeah.
it's nice if it'll transmit, if there's telemetry involved.
Yeah.
Some of the companies did the backup.
Yeah.
Kept the recordings.
The SIM card's just the.
Yeah, kind of like your Ring doorbell does. You know, you can pay for a fee, and your Ring will keep it for $35 a year. It keeps it for,
You're talking, communication part is the SIM card, then there's the data, which is the video stream. I think that's probably what you want.
yeah,
So,
little bit of both. Will be good.
see what the chief is doing, it'd be good to hear from him. Don't forget some insight.
So, I can't remember if we need to vote on the budget or not. I just wanna
Well,
make
it's
sure
not
that,
really complete, so-
I know, so like, maybe if I complete it and hand it to you, Commissioners
You trust me, guys?
want to vote to have him say
Yeah.
yea or nay or whatever.
You guys are good with this way this is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the budget as proposed. Seeing some more things forthcoming, modifications I can approve by me. All in favor? Jared, we'll start with you.
Andy,
Chris, I.
That was the only account that was in the negative, by the way. So
Mhm.
everything else
We're good.
is okay. Mm,
Okay,
right.
the next. Okay. Our signs, so we approve them for print, you have the copies.
Yeah, I'm thinking that these need to be edited down and simplified a bit. I don't know if anyone had time to read through all of them. I mean, I think there's a total of 12 signs. I think we really only need around 7. Yeah, just to simplify, still keep it Lucas.
Yeah.
But simplify it a bit because, I didn't have any chance to kind of look through it and edit it while we were doing it. He just completed it and submitted it.
Okay,
So,
well, we're gonna give some time for people to look it over and give you suggestions.
absolutely, yeah.
Why don't we push this on to our next agenda as well, but in the meantime, I'd like everyone to look these over. See what modifications we might have.
Maybe even look up Shinran Yoku and just try to get a sense of what it is. It means forest bathing, but you're not naked. So. We do not promote nudity in on the Sofinas property.
Want you to feel the boulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Planning board, public,
Isn't it Granville Gorge? They're sunbathing on one of the boulders. I mean-
When you,
That's like,
they want us to do, right?
yeah, that might be an extra thought.
take that away from us.
Okay. So we're down to planning board, public hearing, 660 College Highway, proposed retail marijuana establishment, Concom comments for the planning board.
Yeah, so John sent us 2 things to review, if we want to give comments. I think the public hearing starts tomorrow. So if you have any comments, I'll jot it down and I'll send it over. This particular one is 660 College Highway. It's that old log cabin that's now
Oh, yeah.
turning into a marijuana facility. So they're only doing changes within the building itself. The outside is the same. There was an order of conditions a while ago. I don't know if you guys remember it, but they got a certificate of compliance. They did mention dumpsters to be in the rear, but there was already a dumpster in the rear. They're gonna use existing lighting. So I don't really see any additional impacts.
It's the one next to the, between the funeral home and the Tractor Supply or?
No, on the other side,
It's
Okay.
right
O'Reilly's.
next to 662A. They painted it dark, yeah.
Yes.
Something,
Right,
something fancy.
okay, I don't see anything that we have pertaining to us. Okay, also planning board public hearing, 141 Congamon Road, proposed relocation of transient and leased slips, Concom. That's the planning board.
Yep, I did, and I have no idea who mowed the field. So I asked, what's his name? The owner of 662A. What is his name? Is it Boyle? Tim Boyle?
Yes.
I asked him, because they were having a meeting with John and they had mentioned, yeah, somebody mowed our lawn. Was it DPW? I was like, you guys didn't mow that? They're like, no, we didn't mow it. I'm like, well, maybe next door mowed it, the new marijuana facility. And the new marijuana facility came in a couple weeks after. I'm like, did you mow it? He's like, no, I didn't mow it. So I have no idea who mowed it.
They've been mowing that.
I think it's O'Reilly, like, I don't know who would want to go out.
Who is it?
Why would they put in that effort and mow?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
maybe.
They're paying for it and they don't know about
That's
it.
the- yeah,
I don't know.
Is that the one sunny on the hillside, that Delta in the middle? No?
this is on College Highway, like
Oh.
across, it's next to O'Reilly's,
Okay.
next to O'Reilly. Probably, I didn't even think of that.
Maybe we should notify Tom. Say, hey,
Oh, they should be mowing.
Where's the storage area going?
They are still under review with the planning board facility, and Jim did mention there's gonna be some changes and he's gonna let us know
Ah.
when.
Okay.
okay. All right, we also have that comment for the planning board for 141 Congamon Road, proposing relocation of transient and lease slips.
Yeah, and I have a letter from the harbor master. You guys have it. I don't know if you want to read it.
Yes, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Ken Eggleston, the owner of Gem Marina located at 141 Congamon Road, has requested the addition of 4 slips to his marina as spelled out in a document entitled Agreement Relative to the Site Plan Approval and Modification to Special Permit granted on March 15th, 2022. As you may be aware, Eggleston, the town came to an agreement to reduce the total number of transient boat slips from 20 approved under his Chapter 91 licensure to 16. By not installing the last 2 slips in section of the dock furthest from the shoreline, thereby eliminating slips 27, 28, 33, and 34 of dock 2. You can see the attached diagram, which we don't have right now, but this agreement further states, upon the conclusion of the 2023 boating season, Eggleston may seek to have the aforementioned slips and dock installed in future boating seasons, which shall require approval by the harbor master of the town. After reviewing the above referenced documents and checking department records, I met with Eggleston on Monday, November 25th, and viewed the current marina. At this time, I see no reason not to approve Eggleston's request, as there are no apparent navigation or safety issues present. Chief Banish.
I think I have that diagram somewhere if you want me to.
Chapter 91.
It is
Yeah.
chapter
Out of
91.
our jurisdiction, pretty much, so.
If it changes, he has to have it reviewed by the state.
Planning.
By the state,
Oh,
right?
yes, the top. Yeah, and the state doesn't really care if it's transient or rental flips.
No, it's just
so
space.
This is.
Yeah.
If
you know,
it changes form, fit, or function, it has to be talked about.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know about function.
They've already permitted that about down.
Yeah, they put in.
Well,
it up
if
to
it's- if
49.
If the 91 mentions it, then you can just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
But with okay from the harbor master, which she's giving the
on the
okay,
plan-
so
on
now
the
we know.
planning board.
So
This
now
is-
we're not
yeah.
surprised when we see 4 more slips out there
Right.
next summer.
Well, and see, feel about that. You want to discuss?
Yeah.
What that was talking about,
I'm sure you will.
I think the public
Yeah,
hearing,
okay.
I think the public hearing for this starts tomorrow as well. And so if you guys want to zoom in on
Tune
that
in.
or whatever. But do you have any comments for the planning board?
I don't.
How does CRC feel? We don't know, right?
I mean, if the chief thinks there are no safety issues, that's part of the mission of the,
The harbor master blessed it.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Conservation.
Yeah. Right.
I would say no comment.
Just so that everybody's aware of it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So this folks know if somebody calls it in, says he's adding more early.
Yeah, we already know about it.
All right, we're on to Eversource Energy right away, vegetation maintenance activities.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember that they had done some work on, I can't remember which line it was, but it was back in June. And you guys saw the map. It's the same line. Now they're just gonna do some vegetation control. And they're essentially exempt under the Wetlands Protection Act. So this is just kind of like a, hey, yeah, it's a formality.
In case anybody calls.
Yeah,
Okay, now we're also aware of that. Okay, and Diane just gave us the update on the North Pond
Yeah.
and other area kind of things. So that's all set. On to the old business, pending and expired bonds.
Date.
Okay, any updates on any of these things here? Outfall at Baker Shore or something?
Maybe two select board members are here, they might give us some information on the outlaw at Baker Shore.
On what?
There's only one.
What are you talking about?
Diane's the only select board.
What? Am I missing something? Jason,
That's not Jason.
stop it.
He's looking through the folder.
I was starting to wonder if I was there or not.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, this is that outfall. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We want them to come to you and make their case about. the-
That'd be great. The first time I went there, I'm looking at that saying, what happened here? Like, this didn't come before us and this is in Southwick.
Yeah. So-
Yeah.
They just want.
Right.
You know, what if something goes
Yeah.
wrong?
Well, it shouldn't have been permitted. I know things are different in Connecticut than they are in Massachusetts, but Yeah. well, I'm sure it'll be bumped up a little bit higher than where we are sitting right
Credit to the job, right?
Yep. So actually, I will follow up on that.
Reclaim
tomorrow
it.
as well.
here. Reclaim the job.
There's still
That's-
out there. I know, there are.
I'll follow up on that.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
that'd be
thank
right
you,
on the
Diane.
border, dude, you know?
Actually, there is one update on the expired bonds. I have been in contact with 13 North Pond and he's working on getting that.
Okay, recently done.
$60,000 loan.
That's what was happening.
Yeah, that's active.
Okay, anything else on here updated?
LPP contract with the state, changes to the LPP contract.
Actually, I'm literally sitting here texting Colin Hall right now.
Oh, that's a different contract, but that's all
Yeah,
right.
that's,
Which one?
that's the LP fee with Suffield.
Well, is that the vote?
No,
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 no, we made some revisions to the LPP contract, asked the state for approval, for allowing disability exemptions. That Diane was.
Right, that goes back.
Have we heard
yeah, that's
anything-
from the state.
You take.
Have we heard anything back from the state that you're aware of?
Nothing.
Okay,
You still pursuing that?
I will follow, I don't know, you have the contact. Maybe you can just ask them. to see what it is
Chrissy,
in their file.
Chrissy Hobbs.
I think it went to Chrissy, right?
yeah, that's, should be.
So,
So maybe you want to follow up on that. Sabrina?
sure.
We've seen nothing.
All right,
then, now we go back to the Suffield contract.
yes, but you're texting.
So as of
Colin.
right now, I was literally told by Nicole Parker this afternoon, that the third reading did not pass the legislation. So we will not have a mix of election,
It didn't pass.
elected officials appointed. I have not got confirmation on that yet.
Okay.
So as soon as I do, I'm letting him know what I found out. And I want him, you and I, we need to come to a final. I know the conclusion. It's just a matter we've got to get there. So,
All right, our deadline is really February 3rd. Because that's our last meeting before the letters go out to the
Stickers.
Suffield side.
Residents.
So.
The last
So I
time
guess
that
we can-
happened.
in
there's
case
enough
it's
for-
my first
well, there will be.
do the connect.
That's why I'm trying to say, I'm trying to make good papers.
Mhm.
I think any cooperation. Based on you and I have seen, for whatever reason. But that last comment you made that I didn't hear that you did.
Yeah.
We're gonna push him on that.
Okay,
You're the guy that can make the decision.
yeah.
So. But I'm sure Norm will have an update for you in your next meeting.
Super.
Fantastic.
All right, anything else on there, Sabrina, that we need to discuss?
The
Any updates on any of those?
DEP is working on 56 Sunnyside Road and across the street.
The owner of 13 Berkshire had contacted me. I think I needed to give this to Nicole Parker because I don't have the capacity
Right.
to do talk in between our town council and the landowner. I can't. So I'm gonna ask Nicole to see if she can pick that up. Amendments and local report and Suffield. Noble Street subdivision, Jesse had said that he's getting the final plans ready to to submit for the application for 401 water quality. So hopefully they'll finally submit it.
Be nice.
But, and so we have other matters that were not reasonably expected prior to this meeting. And one of them is this letter. Thank you.
Pursuant to this is to all departments, boards, and committees, commissions from Margaret McCarthy, Select Board Office. Pursuant to the bylaw of the Town of Suffolk Code, all departments, boards, committees, and commissions are required to submit a detailed report from their 2024 accomplishments. This is your opportunity to share with the public your accomplishments for the past year. Due to cost concerns and the advent of new technologies, our goal is to make the publication available online. Which why not? Please submit all annual town reports by emailing them to mccarthy@suffolkma.gov. All reports must be submitted in Microsoft Word format, Arial font number 10 with 1-inch margins, and we ask that it be typed in 1-column format only, not side by side, which is what we normally do. Just saying, right? Yeah.
New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
Bullet list or something to make it quick.
Police in the Southwick Town Regional School District are requested to be typed in 2-column format. If any department, board, committee, or commission would like their picture on the report, please contact the office.
Yep, and we just have to picture that.
All reports not submitted in this format will be returned to resubmittal in the correct format. If you have any questions, feel free to contact Select Board Office. And they're due back by February 3rd.
So due
Okay.
back by February 3rd, which is the next meeting. So I quickly, this is what I had just
Yeah.
handed to you, quickly,
Just written in AI?
no, it's
Oh.
not. I basically copied last year.
Okay, so we keep consistent on conservation. We have the same goals, same.
Maybe next year I'll use AI to spice it up.
And I'll read it out loud. Southwick Conservation Commission's mission to serve the conservation conscience of the town, providing leadership and natural resource planning. The commission works to protect and where possible, enhance plant and wildlife habitat and to maintain Southwick's natural resources. The commission is entrusted with the application of the Wetland Protection Act, the Rivers Protection Act, and CMR wetlands regulations, stormwater management policy, and the Southwick local wetlands bylaws. The commission works closely with other town departments such as planning, Department of Public Works, and Health Department, the Building Department, the Agricultural Commission, the Lake Management Committee, the Police Department, the Harbor Master, the Buildings and Grounds, as conservation plays a role in each of these entities. The Conservation Office personnel consists of part-time coordinator and a part-time secretary. The Conservation Commission is comprised of 7 voluntary members who are appointed by the Select Board. Chris Pratt continued to serve as chair, and Norm Cheever continues to be our vice chair. Mr. Cheever acts as Lake Management Liaison as well as liaison to Suffield Conservation Commission. Mehmet Mazaglu is the most experienced. No, he's not. I was on.
You can cross it off. Cross it off. Like I said, I copied the majority of this from last year, so that
That's
was
probably when I was.
So do you want me to put Chris as the most experienced this year?
I didn't think he'd get through that sentence. Dennis.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dennis, right?
No, it is Dennis. Dennis was.
We have a lot of experience.
That's right. In a larger capacity. Serving several years today, a PhD and educator, a sportsman, hunter, consistently provides solid input and guidance to all matters. Jerry Patry, a liaison for Lake Management Committee, has been a dedicated member and is also chair of the Sewer Implementation Committee. Kevin Solik, a dedicated member and also a chair, is a 3rd year of service. Having a back, I know I got to the wrong line. Having a background in construction provides valuable information reviewing projects for permitting. Andy Reardon, a Boy Scout leader, an advocate for active recreation. Dennis Clark, an experienced member who coordinates, continues to provide excellent input. He has been chosen to be the Community Preservation Committee representative. The first half of the year, the Conservation Office had the pleasure of DLE intern Lucas Karen. In 2024, the Conservation Commission reviewed 9 notice of intents, 13 requests for determinations, 2 emergency certifications, 6 partial certificate of compliances, 12 certificate of compliances over 2, and 2 order of condition extensions. As lesson land is available for development, developers are now submitting plans that include wetland areas that require additional filings and expense for housing construction. Review of these applications takes time and careful deliberation. The Conservation Commission, as administrators of the local permitting program, will once again be processing applications and will closely monitor Congamon Lake to ensure property owners comply with the program. All are welcome to join the meetings, which are held the first and third Mondays of each month, excluding holidays. Respectfully submitted, the members of the Southwick Conservation Commission and Conservation Commission Coordinator. Nicely done. Good job.
Do you want me to add anything on your
Yes, just
bio?
the picture.
The picture.
Everyone.
I do have a background in environmental education and taught environmental education for several years.
What?
I have a background in environmental education and taught environmental education for several years. I think we've had that on there before. I don't know why it got taken off.
In environmental education
Yes.
and taught
Mhm.
environmental education for many years, you said?
Several. That sounds even better. Several can only mean 3. Or more. No one knows. No less than 3, right? Okay, any other unforeseen information?
One,
Norm?
any chance we have? Site visits we do?
That's a good information. That's a lot of work right
I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
that take me like a good probably hour to figure out. I do write down
You log them, right?
essentially all of mine on all
Maybe,
of ours on my
Yeah, maybe it-
Outlook phone.
maybe a note for next year. Yeah,
Numerous
yeah.
sites.
Andy, smart.
That's not several.
Not several, numerous, which is way more than several.
But that just shows that route in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Countless. That's the weather. Countless.
during grueling weather and
I mean, how many
pics and everything. Got ticks on me.
They always pick the rainy days.
Missed it on the next Southfield Conservation Commission meeting is next Tuesday.
Mhm.
We'll go to the town meeting. But they're gonna give me an answer on the pamphlet that we approved, the do's and don'ts of homeowners that live on the lake. I expect it to be negative, but I'm.
Of course.
Got my fingers crossed.
Well, it is what it is. It's not like we made it up.
That's hard to argue.
Yeah. Well, today-
Oh, I got a whole bunch of those little hydrilla cards, from DCR, and I told her like, I'm about to send out like 420 letters to people who live around the lake, and so I'm gonna
Isn't that
stick,
Sanderson?
no, I got them.
Oh.
And I also got these big metal placards, it's the same information. I need help separating them. I can't separate them. For some reason, they're stuck together. But I was thinking, and I think I emailed Dick already, if he wanted to put them at the state ramps. And I was also thinking of asking some beach associations if they want to put it. Beach associations, so people are aware of what to look for and to report it.
I'm sure nobody knows. They've heard of it, but they don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it in person. Like I know what the picture looks like,
I
but
know what it looks like.
they won't separate. Yeah. They're metal signs, and I think when they're done being made, they just
Hmm.
put them together in a pile
What if you
and not
drop them
pressure.
And
Yeah, like I thought I was gonna slice my finger off when I
Yeah,
was
don't do
trying
that.
to. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Okay, let's get a gander at the minutes of December 16th.
Who wants to talk about raising this?
Yes. That's why I said, is there anything else we need to talk about instead of going through each one of them?
Right.
We should cross those off, is what you're saying.
Well, like, there must be a list. Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's in violation right now because he never came into our meeting.
Mhm.
Right, but that should be like.
Mhm.
I mean, anytime you guys want me to put something on the agenda. The North Farm, what? You mean the Granville Gorge roof? Yeah, still don't have a roof. That one. And I think they also blocked off access to the rail trail. Mhm.
End of the, right at the end of the common driveway on the left.
Did you get in touch with us?
I'm having a meeting with the Owners Association, Nicole and Diane or Denise. I can't remember on Wednesday. I'm having her meet with John and Randy too, because there's only so much that I can do. I'm like, you can submit. I'm like, well, I told them first thing you need is delineation. So you know. Yeah, so you know what you got, and then, but they wanted to talk about whether or not the town can cover it. And yep, so we're gonna have that conversation. Randy basically said there's other sidewalks that have more priority than this one. But yeah, but they want to know the steps to take.
Yeah,
So and this is, right alongside Sunnyside.
All right, we're again looking at the minutes
Yeah.
of December 16th. Anybody have any comments, concerns, questions, edits, revisions?
Page three, if, we do 2025 meeting schedule, just,
Push that.
and everyone to approve it. Who's possessing it. The review of bonds. The word has and had. Or has and has need to come out of the first sentence. Commission approval of the list of required bonds to discuss with commissioners.
Right.
And then the second sentence, I don't know which project we were talking about. It's not referenced in the entire notes. But Vice Chair Norm made a motion to put a stop work order on the project.
Yeah.
But the project is not referenced anywhere in the note.
Oh,
Which project?
oh yes, and that one's the 13 North Pond.
So like,
Add that in.
maybe
Yeah.
a parentheses 13 North Farm.
Yeah.
And then the beaver down on. And then it's-
If we add an S to Gates. The confusion is nobody knows. Exactly how they work.
And how the confusion, how they actually work.
Confusion on.
On how.
As to how they actually work.
Yeah. Okay.
This is why we review the minutes.
All right. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as amended. In favor, so Jerry?
Hi.
No,
Chris, I.
no.
Excellent.
I just want to thank Andy for the Christmas tree.
Oh, my God.
Decorate that.
Pass that around.
We got the decorations put away though, all right.
Are they going anywhere?
They're gonna have to go somewhere up in our office for next year. Yep. to it.
So you have to sign these.
Yeah, well, in fact.
Yeah, we'll go up to the food trucks and I can show you the
Alright.
signs.
Some other signing to do.
Oh, yeah, you guys have to sign everything.
We have to sign everything for last meeting.
Thank you for opening that.
These are the we voted on last meeting, sending around for signatures. Yeah, that's the better one.
What?
Where the RC track,
Community, putting in the basement. At the food pantry.
no.
Yeah, you got one going.
Yeah, the old-
Block
cars.
Sign in the
There's
minute.
the- oh, yeah.
Minute.
Yeah, those are the house going up. Yep.
Silicone tires,
Oh, yeah.
the big thumb joystick. Those were cool.
That one, I don't think needs to go sign. I think that's the
Which one?
extension for Noble Steed.
But you don't need to send it.
No, it's been in the sign folder for like over a year. I think.
You throw that away.
I probably should throw it away, but I don't like to do the jump.
Keep here. That's it. Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I must have been from the last meeting.
It's fine.
Quick signature. This is
I worry about getting done.
Do I have the meeting minute? Okay.
Japanese characters in. It's gonna be-
105
Okay. I'll take a motion if anybody wants to make one.
So moved.
Second, third,
Second.
anybody want to disagree? Anyone?
Yeah.